I am flying along the northern Rhone Valley, about 50 kilometers south of Lyon in southern France. Below me, the famous Hermitage vineyards with their iconic chapel. Legend has it that these vineyards originated from a Persian vine. In France, the vines and the wine they produce are called Syrah. The reason I've come here is to find out if there is a connection between these Syrah vines and the vineyards of Shiraz. The French believe that Syrah, the grape, was born here in Hermitage, in the northern Rhone Valley. Here in these 142 hectares, the finest French Syrah is produced. Below the vineyards lies the town of Hermitage. It owes its wealth to Syrah's fame. And it is here that legendary winemaker Michel Chapoutier has his winery. Here in your winery and in your vineyard, you are making a real, truly fine wine. How do you achieve it?
At first, we are working in Hermitage, which is one of the most famous vineyards in France. Also one of the oldest, because the vineyard were here 4th century before the Christ.
The vineyard is named after the story of a crusader knight, Gaspard de Sternberg, who was wounded in a battle during the Crusades in the 13th century. Legend has it that on his return he brought back the Persian vine, planted it, and retired from the world, becoming a hermit, hence the name Hermitage.
We did some research, and it is a legend, and there is no real truth behind, because here we were speaking of the 13th century, and we know today that it was more 4 or 5 centuries before the Christ that the vineyard was planted here.
To find out more about the origin of the Syrah grape, the French turned to science, sending their vines to be DNA tested. José Vilmos is an internationally renowned grape geneticist. José, can you tell me more about the grape's DNA test?
The origin of Syrah is fascinating. We've heard many stories about its origin. Some people think it comes from Persia, some others think it comes from Sicily, where you have Syracuse city. And we know today that all of it is wrong, because we found the parents. It was done in 1998 by 2 different labs, and this collaboration ended up in the discovery of the parents of Syrah, because grapes, like humans, have a mother and a father. And it was really a surprise to find out that Syrah is a natural, spontaneous crossing between 2 local vines from this area. The first one is Dureza, an old variety from Ardèche, south from here. We are in Northern Valley. And the other one is Mondeuse Blanche from Savoie, north from here.
Does DNA test show the age of the grape?
With DNA testing, you have no idea of the age of the grape variety, or you have no idea of when the crossing occurred. In the case of Syrah, the first mention in historical document was in 1781, which is quite recent in terms of history of a grape variety.
After the discovering of the parents of the Syrah, the cross point of these 2 grapes was around Hermitage. So they could demonstrate that the real birthplace of Syrah was Hermitage.
So Syrah is a native French vine, but the story of the name Shiraz is far from over. How is it that when we drink a glass of Syrah, it's often called Shiraz?